Jotaro Kujo is a troublesome student who is the son of Joseph Joestar's daughter Holly, who moved from America to live in Japan. In 1989, after being arrested for hospitalizing three armed men and a trained boxer, Jotaro explains their injuries were caused by an evil spirit possessing him and refuses to leave his cell in case of endangering anyone else. Holly, the only one able to see the spirit, contacts Joseph for his help. Joseph soon arrives with his associate Mohammed Abdul, instructing him to force Jotaro out of his cell while telling his grandson that his evil spirit is actually a psychic manifestation of his fighting spirit called a stand. Soon after, Joseph reveals the Joestar bloodline's sudden ability to use stands as the result the nemesis of his grandfather Jonathan Joestar. Dio Brando. Having succeeded in taking Jonathan's body after his assumed demise in the 19th century and resurfacing a few years prior, awakening his own stand at that time, Dio has recruited stand using assassins to kill Jonathan's remaining descendants. Among them was a brainwashed student Noriyuki Kakyoin who Jotaro soundly defeated from removing the parasitic organism controlling him. When Holly is revealed to have developed a stand, which is killing her due to lack of fighting spirit, Jotaro and his newly named stand Star Platinum join Joseph, Abdul, and Kakyoin to travel to Egypt and kill Dio in hopes it would save Holly's life. Following their plane grounded after an attack by the mass murderer Greyfly and his insectal stand Tower of Grey, the group is joined by Jean-Pierre Polnareff after Abdul defeated him while the Frenchman was under Dio's control, who seeks a man with two right hands who murdered his younger sister. After defeating four of Dio's assassins while traveling to and through Singapore, the group reach Calcutta. They encounter gunslinger Halvorse and Jay Guile, revealed to be the man Polnareff was hunting. Though Polnareff avenges his sister, Abdul is seemingly killed by Halvorse as escapes. But en route to Pakistan, the group finds themselves targeted by Ania Guile, Jay Guile's mother and Dio's right hand. They capture her, but they lose any chance of intel while in Karachi when Steely Dan killed Ania and used his stand the lovers to hold Joseph hostage and force Jotaro into being his personal manservant before losing his advantage. After dealing with Rabia Fats and the baby Manish boy, the latter whom only Kakyoin knew to be evil, the group arrive on the Egyptian border. There, while Polnareff is accosted by the genie Stand Judgment, Abdul reveals that he faked his death and appropriated a submarine that allows them to reach Egypt despite the attempt on their lives by Midler's Stand High Priestess. Upon arriving in Abu Simbel, the heroes are joined by Iggy, a Boston Terrier and the user of a simple yet powerful stand known as the Fool. They are immediately attacked by the blind stand user Ndoul and his stand Jeb, one of 9 Egyptian god stands that serve Dio. Jotaro and Iggy defeat Ndoul, but Kakyoin is wounded in the fight and is taken to a hospital to recuperate. Oingo and Boingo, users of the face-altering stand KHNUM and the future-predicting comic book Thoth respectively, make a failed attempt to defeat the heroes. After dealing with Mariah and Alessi, group encounters Daniel J. Darby with Jotaro bluffing his way through Darby's rigged card game to beat him by chance and restore his friends after their souls were turned into betting chips. In Cairo, the group meets Halvorse again, who has partnered himself with Boingo, but the duo are defeated through their own incompetence. Later, Iggy battles Pet Shop, Dio's pet falcon and the user of the ice-slinging stand Horus. Kakyoin returns soon afterwards, his eyesight mostly recovered. The doorway to Dio's mansion is guarded by Darby's younger brother Terence T. Darby. His stand, Atom, steals Kakyoin's soul after a round of video games, but despite Darby mind games, Jotaro is able to outwit him by having Joseph's Hermit Purple manipulate the games in his favor. Meanwhile, Polnareff, Iggy, and Abdul easily dispose of Keniji, whose tenor sax stand creates an illusory maze. Abdul is then killed by an invisible force that is revealed as Dio's henchman, Vanilla Ice, whose stand cream swallows itself into another dimension and instantly obliterates anything its sphere of destruction touches. Ice, who killed himself for Dio but was revived by Dio's blood, is defeated after Iggy sacrificed himself to save Polnareff. Meanwhile, Jotaro, Joseph, and Kakyoin encounter Nuxaku the idiot and easily defeat him. Though wounded and alone from defeating Ice, Polnareff confronts Dio but is confounded by the vampire's powers. When the four surviving heroes are reunited, they climb to Dio's tower with Nuxaku in tow, but when he opens the casket, he inexplicably ends up inside it with his cheeks cut open. Dio chases Joseph and Kakyoin across Cairo until Kakyoin learns that their opponents stand. The world is able to stop time. Kakyoin is murdered by Dio when the world punched him the stomach with enough force to knock him into a water tower. Kakyoin used his last moments to leave Joseph a message by smashing the clock tower. After incapacitating Joseph, Dio is confronted by Jotaro, who takes advantage of his star platinum being the same type as Dio's to slightly move while time is frozen. Dio restores himself by draining Joseph's blood, becoming even stronger as he attempts to finish off Jotaro by crushing him with a steamroller. But Jotaro manages to use Star Platinum to fully stop time against Dio and defeat him. After Dio is defeated, Jotaro oversees a blood transfusion to revive Joseph before leaving Dio to disintegrate in the sunrise as they reflect on their fallen friends. Jotaro and Joseph bid farewell to Polnareff before taking the next flight to Japan, as a recovering Holly awakens back at home.